A Course in Miracles, Lesson 165. Let not my mind deny the thought of God. What makes this world seem real except your own denial of the truth that lies beyond? What but your thoughts of misery and death obscure the perfect happiness and the eternal life your Father wills for you? And what could hide what cannot be concealed except illusion? What could keep from you what you already have except your choice to see it not, denying it is there? The world is like a movie projected on a screen, but you've forgotten you're the one running the projector. You stare at the moving images, war, loss, success, time, and swear they're real, but only because you've chosen not to look at the film reel behind them. Truth sits just behind the curtain, quietly shining. But you keep pulling the curtain tighter, afraid of what you might see if you let it open. It's not the world that's real. It's your defense against truth that makes it seem to be. Imagine trying to see the sun through stained glass painted with scenes of pain. You put the glass there, stories of abandonment, struggle, failure, and death, and now wonder why it all feels so dim. God gave you a sky full of peace, but you painted clouds over it and claimed the storm was real. Death is just the name you gave to what changes, but your spirit has never changed. You could smile right now if you stopped believing you're destined to lose everything. Truth is a lighthouse. It never moves, never dims, never hides. But if you close your eyes or turn your back, you'll swear it disappeared. Illusion is like a smoke machine at a concert. It looks dramatic, but it's just vapor with no substance. You can't hide what is changeless and eternal. You can only convince yourself it's gone. And even then, it never leaves you. It's like holding a gift in your hands while claiming you're empty. You're sitting in a locked room with the key in your pocket, screaming that no one will rescue you. The thought of God, your inheritance, your safety, your light, is not lost. You just keep walking past it, eyes down, convinced that survival is your job. But what if everything you need has already been given? And what if the only thing missing is your willingness to accept it? The thought of God created you. It left you not, nor have you ever been apart from it an instant. It belongs to you. By it you live. It is your source of life, holding you one with it, and everything is one with you because it left you not. The thought of God protects you, cares for you, makes soft your resting place and smooth your way, lighting your mind with happiness and love. Eternity and everlasting life shine in your mind because the thought of God has left you not and still abides with you. The thought of God created you like a melody played straight from the heart of heaven. It didn't need to build you, it simply knew you. You weren't formed from dust, you were extended from light. You didn't come from the world, you came from the mind that holds all reality in peace. You are not a body with a soul. You are a thought within the mind that never stops thinking of you. You've never been unplugged from the source, even when you felt disconnected. It's like a radio tuned to static saying, the station stopped broadcasting. But the signal never stopped, only your receiver wavered. You think you left God, but that's like a dream figure believing it jumped out of the dreamer's mind. No matter how far you think you've gone, you've never taken a single step away. The thought of God isn't just some idea. It's your lifeline, your heartbeat, your breath before the lungs. Without that thought, you'd vanish like a shadow in sunlight. You live because you are still thought by God, not because your heart beats, but because His love does. That's not poetry, mighty companion. It's metaphysics. You are not drifting alone in a cold galaxy. You are held in place by the gravity of love. Everything you see, everything you touch is secretly part of you because it's all part of Him. The tree, the breeze, the friend, the enemy, They're not outside you. They're within the thought that contains you. Nothing real can ever be apart from you, because the thought of God binds all in one shared wholeness. Who would deny his safety and his peace, his joy, his healing and his peace of mind, his quiet rest, his calm awakening, if he but recognized where they abide? Would he not instantly prepare to go where they are found, abandoning all else as worthless in comparison with them? And having found them, would he not make sure they stay with him and he remain with them? If a man dying of thirst saw a wellspring right beneath his feet, would he keep digging in the desert? If a child knew that love wasn't in the toy but in the arms that held him, would he chase the toy or run to the arms? Your safety is not in a locked door. Your peace is not in a paycheck. Your joy is not in someone else's approval. Everything you've ever wanted already lives in the thought of God, and the thought of God lives in you. But you've been searching the house for a key while sitting on it the whole time. The moment you realize the treasure is real and nearby, the imitation gold loses all shine. You drop the plastic jewels, the dusty trophies, the tired arguments and the self-made rules. You'd stop defending illusions like they're your identity and begin the journey inward with no need to pack. Because once you truly know where joy and rest abide, every detour feels like a delay you no longer want. When someone tastes real freedom, they don't go back to chains for nostalgia. You'd guard that peace, not with fear, but with reverence. Not with fists, but with stillness. You'd live like someone who finally came home and isn't leaving again for anything. And not because you fear losing it, but because you know it never left you. Deny not heaven. It is yours today, but for the asking. Nor need you perceive how great the gift, how changed your mind will be before it comes to you. Ask to receive, and it is given you. Conviction lies within it. Till you welcome it as yours, uncertainty remains. Yet God is fair. Sureness is not required to receive what only your acceptance can bestow. Heaven is like sunlight pouring through a window, but you have to pull back the curtain. It's not in the distance, it's already here, already yours, waiting for permission to shine in. You don't have to earn it, travel for it, or wait until you're better. You just have to ask, not because God is holding out, but because your asking means you're ready to receive. You don't have to understand electricity to turn on a light. You don't need to measure how big a sunrise is to feel its warmth. You're not being asked to analyze the miracle, just to say yes to it. Ask, and it is given, because it was already yours. Heaven isn't waiting to be delivered, it's waiting to be noticed. The moment you accept it, you'll know. Not with logic, but with that deep, still knowing in your gut, the kind that doesn't waver when storms come. Until then, you'll live like someone with a home they're too afraid to enter, standing on the porch, calling it unknown. But heaven is not foreign. It's the one place that feels like you were always meant to be there. God doesn't ask for certainty. You don't need full faith to open the door, just willingness to turn the knob. This isn't about proving belief or passing some test. It's about saying yes in the quiet of your heart, even if your voice shakes. The gift is already in your lap, but only your acceptance unwraps it. Ask with desire. You need not be sure that you request the only thing you want. But when you have received, you will be sure you have the treasure you have always sought. What would you then exchange for it? What would induce you now to let it fade away from your ecstatic vision? For this sight proves that you have exchanged your blindness for the seeing eyes of Christ. Your mind has come to lay aside denial and accept the thought of God as your inheritance. Desire is the spark that lights the altar. You don't need a script, just a real longing, something deeper than words, stronger than fear. This isn't about begging, it's about opening your heart like parched soil opens for rain. Your desire doesn't prove you're lacking, it proves you're ready. You don't have to clean out every conflicting wish before you ask. It's okay if part of you still wants the world, still wants control, still wants to be right. The invitation isn't to be perfect, it's to be honest. You don't need a pure desire, just a present one. The moment it comes, you'll know it's the thing you've been chasing under every other name. Peace won't just feel good, it'll feel familiar, like coming home to a place you forgot you built. This is the treasure buried under every relationship, every ambition, every search. And when it shows up, everything else fades in the light of it. Would you trade a sunrise for a flashlight? Would you give up wholeness to feel broken again? Once you've held truth in your hands, falsehood feels like sand slipping through your fingers. This joy doesn't compare, it replaces. Ecstasy, mighty companion. Not hype, not excitement, not thrill, but true ecstasy, the kind that doesn't come and go. You won't want to blink because everything you see will shimmer with love you didn't know was there. This isn't emotion, it's recognition. Yes, you have been blind. Blind to your wholeness, blind to your light, blind to the safety already cradling you. Blind not because the world was dark, but because you thought you were the eyes. But now you see with something deeper. These eyes don't look for flaws, they see through them. They don't label, defend, or compare, they recognize. To see with the eyes of Christ is to see without attack, without judgment, without fear. These are not eyes of flesh, but eyes of clarity. To see this way is to remember what was never lost. This is the moment the prodigal son puts down the pig food. This is the moment you stop arguing with love. You stop trying to earn what was already given. Denial melts and acceptance rises like the dawn. You are not a visitor to God's house. You are His heir. And the thought of God is your eternal inheritance, not tomorrow, now. Now is all doubting past, the journey's end made certain, and salvation given you. Now is Christ's power in your mind, to heal as you were healed. For now you are among the saviors of the world. Your destiny lies there, and nowhere else. Would God consent to let His Son remain forever starved by His denial of the nourishment He needs to live? Abundance dwells in Him, and deprivation cannot cut Him off from God's sustaining love and from His home. Doubt was a fog, but the sun has risen. It didn't need to be defeated, just replaced. There's no debate in your mind anymore about who you are or where you belong. Not because you figured it out, but because truth revealed itself, and you didn't flinch. This is the part where the GPS stops recalculating because you've arrived. You're not wandering anymore, you're remembering. The destination was never miles away, it was a moment of acceptance. The path ends in certainty, because it was certainty that was guiding you the whole time. This isn't something you earn, it's something you receive. Salvation isn't a prize, it's a return to what was never taken. You don't save yourself, you awaken to the truth that you were never lost. And now, what was once a concept becomes a living experience. You have become what healed you. The same light that touched your mind is now shining through it. You no longer walk the world as one in need, but as one who carries the cure. The power of Christ is not a myth, it's your inheritance, and it lives in you now. You're not here to blend in, you're here to light the way. You are part of the remedy, not the riddle. You don't need credentials, your presence is enough. By accepting your own healing, you give permission for others to remember theirs. You can chase careers, titles, followers, lovers, but none of them will feel like home. Because your true role, the one written into your being, is to remember the Christ in you and extend it. Everything else is temporary, but your destiny is eternal, and it's already begun. Do you think God would sit back and let his child waste away spiritually while begging for crumbs? Would a loving parent withhold food from a starving child if the pantry was full? No, mighty companion. It's not God who withholds, it's the mind that refuses to eat. The nourishment is right here. You've just been turning your back on the feast. God is not a God of almost enough. He is the overflowing cup, the endless river, the light that never dims. There's no scarcity in him, only endless supply. And because you are of him, you lack nothing. Even if the world tells you you're broken, left behind, or empty, it doesn't change your source. Lack is a lie. It cannot disconnect what God created as one. You are still sustained, still loved, still home, even in your darkest hour. You don't live by bread alone, you live by the thought that holds you forever. Practice today in hope, for hope indeed is justified. Your doubts are meaningless, for God is certain, and the thought of him is never absent. Sureness must abide within you who are host to him. This course removes all doubts which you have interposed between him and your certainty of him. Hope isn't wishful thinking, it's memory trying to rise from beneath the rubble. You're not hoping for something new, you're hoping to remember something ancient and true. You've been looking through the fog, but the sun never stopped shining. So practice today with real hope, because you're not building the light, you're simply letting it in. Doubt is like a broken compass spinning in circles. It points nowhere and says nothing. But God is the fixed star that never moves, no matter how long you look away. God doesn't shake when you question him. His certainty isn't offended by your confusion, it simply waits for your fear to rest. Doubt doesn't change the truth, it only delays your joy. Even in your worst moments, when you felt abandoned, ashamed, or alone, the thought of God stayed. It didn't leave because you left. It didn't dim because you turned off the light. The thought of God is like a heartbeat beneath all noise, constant, rhythmic, holding you in life. You are never without it, even when you pretend not to hear. You are the host. And a good host doesn't doubt the guest. They prepare a place. They open the door. You're not renting space to God. You are the home he never moved out of. Sureness isn't something you add, it's something you uncover. You are not the wandering beggar. You are the mansion that forgot it had rooms filled with light. The course is not giving you truth, it's clearing the furniture you stacked in front of it. It's like removing curtains from a window you boarded up yourself. Every doubt is a plank of wood you nailed over the light. And now, board by board, idea by idea, it's being pulled down. Until the light you thought you lost is suddenly filling the whole room again. Not new light, just no more blocks. We count on God and not upon ourselves to give us certainty. And in his name we practice as his word directs we do. His sureness lies beyond our every doubt. His love remains beyond our every fear. The thought of him is still beyond all dreams and in our minds according to his will. The ego says, figure it out. The spirit says, trust. Self-reliance has exhausted you. You've tried to be your own anchor, and all it did was drag you down. Certainty doesn't come from effort, it comes from surrender. You don't create the truth, you receive it. So today we stop leaning on shaky selves and rest in the stillness of God. We walk not by our plans, but by his guidance. Not because we fear punishment, but because we trust the path is already lit. To act in his name doesn't mean saying God out loud. It means letting love be the motive for every step. Practice today isn't performance, it's partnership. We do as His word directs, not to earn certainty, but to remember we never lost it. God's sureness isn't behind your confusion, it's beneath it. Like bedrock under loose sand, it holds firm even when everything above it shifts. Every doubt is a cloud, and His sureness is the sky. You can cover it, but you can't move it. Your uncertainty is a flicker, His certainty is the flame. Fear rises like a wave, but God's love is the ocean. Fear screams, love abides. You can run from love, deny it, rebel against it, but it stays. Love is not shaken by panic. It waits behind every anxious breath, whispering, I am still here. Dreams come and go, but the thought of God doesn't blink. It's not in some far-off realm. It's in your mind right now, pulsing with eternal stillness. You dream of bodies, battles, and beginnings. But even while you sleep, the thought of Him holds you in waking truth. It abides unchanged, untouched by all illusions. And it waits, not with impatience, but with perfect peace, until you remember your home in Him. That's final step, mighty companion, but not the end, because truth doesn't end. And what this lesson gave you can't be undone. Let's seal it in the heart with this. We count on God, not upon ourselves, and in His name we practice, and in His light we remember.